Hi, I'm Gary Ryan and welcome to another episode of the Beyond Being Good video series. This episode is titled, Purpose is Not Strategy. To demonstrate my point throughout this episode, I'm going to be talking about Frank, who's the school principal of a primary school here in the state of Victoria in Australia. And Frank's school has gone from performing at around about the 60th percentile when I started working with him several years ago, up to the 95th percentile now. They've really done the journey of moving beyond being good, which is exponentially harder than going from poor to good. And part of Frank's journey has been about being really clear about the power of purpose. He's been absolutely clear that his school, for example, is not a business. And I see this in education a lot, both at the primary, secondary and certainly at the tertiary level, where there's more and more talk about them being businesses. You know what? They're not businesses. Their purpose is to educate, to do research, to build learning and understanding. That's their purpose. For example, at Frank's school, his purpose is to have student-centered learning, build the capacity of his teachers, and ensure that they use research and data in everything that they do. That's the purpose behind why his school exists. Now, what Frank has done is he's used systems thinking, he's used levels of perspective, he's done the work to build high-performing teams, all in the service of his purpose. So in other words, he's used business strategies, business tactics to serve the purpose of his school, because he says and understands quite clearly his school is not a business, but as a principal, he needs to use business principles and tactics and strategies to help serve the purpose. And you just think about this. If we flipped it around and he said that his school was a business first and it was using the strategy of education to serve that purpose, do you think his school would be different in any way? I am certain it would be. I'm certain that the change in that structure of having the purpose and the strategies flipped around changes everything. So no matter what your organisation, and clearly I'm talking about a government type organisation in this example, but if your organisation is a for-profit organisation or whatever it might be, what's the purpose of your organisation should come first. Then you've got to ask what strategy should serve that purpose. Now, in some cases, there will be an absolute clear business purpose and you're using business strategies to do that. They're perfectly aligned. But in other instances, such as I believe in education and maybe other government agencies, where the purpose is different, it's not about being a business, but they've got to use business principles to serve that purpose. Once again, I'm Gary Ryan. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I look forward to working with you next time.